Liquor Talk starts right now. Welcome everybody to another edition of the Liquor Talk podcast. I'm your man Victor. We coming to you live from Orlando, Florida. We got somebody else in Orlando as well. I'm coming to you from the beautiful Studio Max in Orlando, better known as the Independent Dream Factory. The Studio Max Independent Dream Factory, where your dreams can come true. Holla at my dog Don. You know what I'm saying? We setting up bookings. They record everything here. Music video, what he go ahead and give them a shout out. They also look out for your boy, you know what I'm saying? And also shout out to all my subscribers on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts at. Shout out to you all. Thank you for pouring up with us. And joining me today, we got somebody from the home team, y'all. We got a little FAMU reunion also in Orlando. She's the host of the Not That Problematic podcast. It's Brystal. From the strike team to the podcast world. Wow.
Hey,
what a reunion.
What a reunion. What a reunion. Thank you for having me. Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. Happy to be here.
It's not a problem. How you been?
I've been good. I've just been, out here wifing, momming, podcasting. I got a little inconsistent with my podcast, but then, we're back on. We've been consistent these last couple months, putting out content every week. And took a break from working. Beyonce said quit your job, and I was like, okay. So went ahead, I did that, and then I quit my job in September of 2022, and then I just started working again in April. So took a little break off for the holidays, for the top of the year Q1, and now just back doing my thing, living life.
Yes, that's what's up. So tell the people about your podcast.
Okay, so Not That Problematic, the podcast is the safe space for the shit that you can't say out loud. And it came from just a lot of my friends telling me that I was problematic. Like they be always like, Brystal, you can't say that, Brystal. Like you can't say that, blah, 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 blah. And I just feel like, and in society, it's like, I'm not that problematic, but a lot of the shit that I say, people tell me I'm not supposed to say it out loud. So on my podcast, I talk about everything that's going on in like pop culture. A lot of the stuff I talk about, everybody sees. I call it the Black CNN. Everybody sees it on the Shade Room. So I talk about that, but then I come from it from a perspective of what's the broader conversation that we can have. Like we can talk about we can talk about the individuals that the subject is about, but I like taking the conversation, finding the nuance in the conversation, and then broadening it to like, what's the lesson? You know what I mean? So that's pretty much, and I talk a lot of shit. So that's that's pretty much the gist of it. And you can find me wherever you get your podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, literally wherever you get your podcasts, I'm there.
Yeah, that's real. So what made you decide to just go ahead and start a podcast? Because everybody done got on this podcast booming now. You look up, every other person got a podcast.
I started because everybody used to tell me like, you need a podcast. If my followers on Instagram, previously on Snapchat. So I used to be on Snapchat all the time. I'm not on Snapchat anymore because Snapchat is a place for drug dealers and prostitutes now and get your money. Ever since Instagram made the IG story, that's where I bring my rants to. So I would just rant. And I like to opine. So everybody would be like, oh my God, you need a podcast. And I consume a lot of podcasts, like the legendary podcasts, like The Brilliant Idiots, The Read, Flagrant 2, with Andrew Schultz, Joe Rogan. So you know what I mean? I listen to a lot of, I probably listen to podcasts just as much as I listen to music. And I'm like, oh, I can do that. I talk a lot of shit. I have a lot of opinions. And everybody telling me I need one because don't nobody want to click through your Instagram story and all you doing is talking shit on Instagram. So yeah.
That's the exact same reason I started Liquor Talk, because Liquor Talk used to be on Snapchat. You know what I'm saying? I used to have the Snapchat videos and stuff, and everybody used to be waiting for me to pop on Sunday nights. And then I saw somebody doing a podcast. I'm like, damn, this is really that easy. Shit, I can do it too.
Yeah. It's it's a lot easier now than it was in the beginning because the more that excuse me, the more that I podcast, the easier that it gets because I learn more, especially when you get the behind the scenes. That's what a lot of people who start podcasts do not understand how much work goes into post production because
Mm-hmm.
I edit my own podcast. I put it out myself. Like I do everything myself for my podcast. I produce it. I get my guests. Like it's just, you know what I'm saying? At this point, it's a one woman show. So but once I learned to do that, and I like to hear the growth in the podcast. So if you go back and listen to season one, I don't recommend you go listen to season one and Not That Problematic, the podcast, because the sound is crunchy. Like I didn't know anything about microphones or just like anything about soundboarding, about editing. I would just record and just put it out, and then that would be it. But now it's like we've gotten to the point where, you know, we're produced a little bit. You know, we got some technology, we got us some good microphones. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we got us a unlimited Zoom account, so when we do virtual guest, it's, you know, the sound, you know, it comes through really well. So
Yes, yes. I do the same thing. I got unlimited StreamYard. And so the one thing I like
yeah,
about this, I can literally live stream to the YouTube channel or whatever channels you just got to. So for those of y'all listening, pretty soon I'm probably gonna live stream some episodes to the Facebook channel as well, you know. So yeah, you definitely can do that. You definitely can. It's a lot of playing around with the live stream, and I definitely agree with you on people think it's just you sit down and hit record. No, it's a lot of work. It's the editing, it's the marketing, and also it's the networking as well. Like I've met a lot of cool people during podcasting, so and
yeah,
they meet some that you don't want to deal with ever again. But that's the nature of the beast, you know.
100%. And it's like to people, it's like you said, people think it's just getting a microphone and sitting down and talking. And actually sitting down and talking is not that easy when you don't have shit to say. You know what I mean? So you have to like gather your thoughts, and, you know, at least I come up with an outline for what you want to talk about. Because if you just sit down and put a microphone to somebody in front of somebody, there's just, it's like a lot of ums and ahs and different things like that. So it's definitely, it's work, but I totally enjoy it. I 100% enjoy doing it.
Yes, I definitely agree with you. I definitely 100% enjoy it because it's like your release from life. Because life at the FAMU has very been stressful. It's just been bills, jobs, and sometimes some relationships not working out, and then some bond friendships not working out. Is life does get real after college, you know. So shout
Yeah.
out to everybody out there that was with FAMU or with us, because I'm like, damn. I'm sitting here thinking about this. I'm like, wow, we were just all at FAMU a little while ago, all getting lit. Now we all living our lives.
Right. And then when you really think about it, and when you say a little while ago, it seems like a little while ago, but
Yeah,
that was what, 11 years ago, 12 years ago.
yeah, it has.
So over a decade. Like, so, you know, auntie, you know what I'm saying? It's, you know, but that's one of the things that I appreciate about social media the most, because it allows us to stay interconnected with each other. Like, I don't know if you know Brandon Swanigan, but I had him on the podcast, on the episode of my podcast, and I hadn't seen Brandon in 10 years maybe.
Wow.
But we talk all the time on Instagram. Like if you look at our Instagram DM, it's full. You would think that we go, you know what I mean, see each other on a weekly basis, because social media allows that aspect. You know, I think the only person who I see the most, who I, you know, and is Destiny. And that's just, you know, she's the godmother to my kids. So it's like, you know, as far as like FAMU people who I was at FAMU with, it's probably her, just
Yeah.
in person. But social media keeps us all connected. So it's like we don't really gotta be around each other, because, you know, we always see what each other is putting out
Mhm.
and doing and whatnot.
Yeah, and I do say shout out to the family people that are supporting Liquor Talk, because I know a lot of people they saw Liquor Talk, they be sharing it, they be showing love. So I do appreciate you all. Even the ones
100%.
even the ones that don't always share the podcast, or you know what I'm saying, they always tune in. I definitely appreciate it as well. But could you have imagined if we had our podcast back in our FAMU days?
No, 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 I couldn't have. And I'm just so glad that I was at FAMU, or we were at FAMU when we were there in
Mm-hmm.
that era, that 2008 to 2012 era
Mm-hmm.
of FAMU. I don't care what nobody says. You can argue with your greasy grandpappy. 2008 to 2012 FAMU, peak FAMU era.
Yeah.
And you can fight me because I will fight about that's peak FAMU. That's Chubby's.
Yeah.
That's when
I
Chubby's.
saw they closed Chubby's.
That's when Chubby's. The Chubby's the club turned into Coliseum. We saw that transition.
Yep.
We saw Baja's. We saw 2020 open. You
Yeah.
had um we saw Mount Zion in its heyday, and then we saw
Mm-hmm.
it go down. The Edge nightclub. Come on now.
Yeah.
The moon at its peak. We got to go through DJ KD, DJ Byron J, DJ Darkness, DJ Loose Kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on.
Yes.
The set when it was the set when you can go and buy 3 bundles off the set for $20.
What?
Like,
Hell yeah.
you could buy a t-shirt, a painting, and some incense for $15 and get your life. The red, what was the Cravings truck, the barbecue man.
Yes.
I'm not
R.I.P. to Soul Train.
R.I.P. to the real.
Yes.
Come on now.
Yes,
Like,
man.
nothing compares to FAMU from the years 2008 to 2012, and I'll fight anybody on it. Like,
I definitely agree with you.
will.
Now I like the fact that we rebuilding now, but then seeing some of them doors get torn down, it kind of breaks my heart. I'm like, damn, we couldn't just remodel it down.
Right. I resided in Wheatley, oh so sweetly, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
TWC. And when they tore down TWC to build an amphitheater, that hurt.
Yeah.
That hurt.
That hurt. Now
Yeah.
I think Gibbs is still standing. You know, I think Gibbs is, I'm not sure, but I think Gibbs is still standing. But I felt bad for my Pattyfoot soldiers when I saw Pattyfoot getting torn down. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, it's like I went to homecoming last year and I was like, where am I? Like, is this even FAMU? Like, where am I? But you know, it's different. It's very different. The food is still amazing, but like, you know, it's everybody says, because my mom went to FAMU and she tells me 82 to 86 for FAMU is the best time, and she'll fight me on that. We argue about that. And then my grandma went to FAMU, so it's like, and she talk about her time at FAMU when she was a majorette, was, you know what I'm saying, like clinical. I feel like all Rattlers feel like their era was like the peak era, but I just said I toes down on mine.
Nah, I definitely agree with you because we were both there. It's like everybody was live and everybody was just lit, and everybody was holding their positions accountable. Meaning, if they were on the royal court, they were actually doing what the hell they said what they were going to do. You know.
Period. And it was just the beginning of social media. We just had a little bit of social media. We had Facebook, obviously. We had Facebook. Twitter had just got popping.
Yes, Twitter was during the reckless era.
Popping. This is Twitter when you could only put 140 characters and you could only tweet. There were no pictures. This is that Twitter. You know what I mean? And Instagram. Instagram didn't even become a thing till like what, 2011?
Yeah, and it was just on iPhones at first, and then finally
and I had a Galaxy at that time. The ghetto.
Yeah, I had a Galaxy at that time. It's funny how we both had Galaxies, and then now on Team iPhone, you know.
Leno, put that down, please. Sorry, he had a plug. Like, kids are crazy.
It's all good. You got a baby. Hey, you got to babysit and record. It's all.
Listen, all good. Oh my God. You came in here with like the plug. I'm like, why do you have that?
I know how it is, but I'm just like, to go from that to now, it's like everyday life. I haven't even been back to FAMU in a minute, but I see posts of everybody. I'm like, damn, campus don't even look the same anymore.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's not this. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't have the same feel. But also, we the old niggas now. So,
Yes,
so
we really are the old niggas
we
now.
the old niggas. So it's like the feel that it is now is, I think, very appropriate for the, for the Gen Zers that are there. Um, Being on the other side of 30 is like, I can't really be walking these hills like I used to, auntie is tired. So I think it's for who it's for. And I truly am happy that I went when I went. And I'm so happy that FAMU is still at the top of the HBCUs.
Yeah.
Number one. And by top, I don't mean top three. I mean top one. There's no one above. Number
Yes.
one, the only one, that girl, is FAMU.
Mhm.
In the words of AJ, Antonio, you other schools are lacking and you're poor.
Yes, they are. And they
So
hate on FAMU.
you can ask LeBron. You can
Mhm.
ask Chad Ochocinco. Like the
Yeah.
girls that get it, get it. There's no
Mhm.
school like FAMU. Like
Yes. And I'm grateful for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful for
100%.
times because if I didn't go through what I went through at FAM, we would not be doing liquor talk
100%.
right now. We would definitely
100%.
not be getting liquor talk, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because FAMU is that girl. It's that girl that's gonna make you better, even if you want to, you know what I'm saying? Once you hit them hills, you're gonna get better. So it's always FAMU today, FAMU tomorrow, FAMU forever, you know what I'm saying?
Forever. Hey, Lando,
Yeah.
take this for Alana.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. The more you drink, the better we sound. Pour up that liquor if you haven't done so already. Go ahead and pour up the tequila on this unofficial holiday. Us people, we always make Cinco de Mayo an unofficial holiday that, but then when you do the research, it's like, oh, they just celebrated won the damn war.
You know, blacks love an excuse to get drunk.
That's true.
And we will celebrate any St. Patrick's Day, Cinco de Mayo, goddamn Rosh Hashanah. It don't matter. If you're
It don't matter.
the blacks are there and I'm here for it. And I have my tequila. Shout out to Mexico. Shout out to Cinco de Mayo. And
Mhm.
all of
Yeah,
that.
shout out to Cinco de Mayo. Even though we not at the turn-ups no more, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember being at FAM during the summer and then everybody at Cancun's or whatever spot all day. We had the house parties all day. We'll start off at the house parties, then head over to Cancun's where we just out there chilling all day, man.
Eating
Get
tacos, 3 tacos for $1 or whatever the
yes.
fuck. Dollar shots of tequila. Ooh,
What?
bottom shelf liquor.
Of course, we didn't know it was bottom shelf liquor at
Bottom
the
shelf
time.
liquor will kill you. And like literally, I could not even imagine drinking like some bottom shelf, because now my liquor tolerance, it's only tequila. That's what I'm drinking. I don't, if it's a mixed drink and that has vodka, rum, whatever, take that out and add tequila, because that's that's yes, Lando.
Yes, I still do it all. I still do it all, but everything in moderation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whereas you used to doing it all the time, now you barely drink. Like there's some weeks I barely even drink. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, of course now I'm sipping, but I'm on a little vodka. But it's just you
Yeah.
barely do it now because you did that part. You is done.
Right. Yeah. I'm more so, if you give me a couple glasses of wine, honestly, that's gonna be my little steady little, now I'll blow the house down with some with some, legal eagle, but
Yeah, yeah, what I'm saying? It's like, we all get old, you know what I'm saying? But hey, we gotta make the best of it because I still want to be them OGs, still wanna, them triple
right.
OGs who show up at the games, got the they got their parking spots,
Mm-hmm.
they got the cups, they got the barbecue and stuff, man.
We got the grills in the stadium parking lot, definitely.
Mhm. Yeah, I want to be that alumni now. Now I'm out here looking out for fellow students that are going now. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
I had them looking out for me in my last couple years. I would always pull up to where they were sitting at. Always got me a plate. Always got a drink. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
all the time. And they're so giving. That's one thing I love about it too, because I've never met a stranger that's a rattler. And that's, it's always yes, Lando.
yes, never met a stranger of FAMU. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just love it. It is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, remember this is the Liquor Talk Podcast. Go ahead and tune in wherever you get your podcasts at. Your baby's okay?
They good. They aggravating each other. I told you and kids are so funny because my niece is older. She's 6 and my son
Mm-hmm.
is 3.
Mm-hmm.
And they love each other and they always want to be around each other, but they aggravate the hell out of each other. So if you put them in separate rooms, it don't work because they always find themselves back together. Now, what's going on now is they each have an iPad,
Mm-hmm.
but they trying to watch what the other one is watching, but they don't want to watch what it's it's given. I'm about to start ignoring them, and there's really a couple more sips of my Grand Cormino, and y'all got it. y'all got it. Like, come on now, y'all really got it.
Hey, that's real though. That's real. Now, one thing I remember about you, you always went hard for the Lakers. Now, how this series looking? What you think?
First of all, it's Lakers in 7. You know, it's Lakers in 7 all day, every day. I still go hard and say it to him one more time, Vic. Let them know I've always
Yes,
gone hard for the
yes. You
Lakers.
always. I
Ain't never
remember
been
being in the
bandwagon.
class with you, and the professor always liked to talk about sports, and you always were hitting him with the Lakers questions. I'm like, yes, Brystal, keep this man
because
talking.
because if you're gonna talk about the National Basketball Association and not mention the Lakers, then you're not talking about the National Basketball Association. Okay,
Mhm.
it's giving dynasty, legacy, trilogy, everything. The Lakers are 17 National Basketball Association championship.
Mhm.
17.
Man, it'll be fun if we get Lakers Celtics in the finals.
I think so. I did an episode 2 weeks before the playoffs started. Obviously, there was some injuries on the Clippers. I had Clippers Philly or Clippers Boston. That's who I had in the finals. But Kawhi ended up getting hurt and all that. Now I think it's gonna be Lakers Miami, a repeat of the bubble. That's my feeling.
Oh,
Um
that'll be good. That would be good, but we need
Jimmy
Jimmy.
Butler is playing his ass off. Like,
He
come on,
has, but he done took that team on his back.
backpack them. I'm talking about put them in a Jan Sport, zipped it up, and just yeah. I think we're gonna beat the Warriors. It's very funny because my husband is like a diehard Warriors fan and not like a bandwagon fan either. So it's tension at the crib right now.
I
But
bet I bet it had to be tension when the Warriors won all them titles, and then the Lakers came back and got that title.
so everybody puts an asterisk by the bubble. They say the bubble don't count. Our championship, nobody wants to count the bubble. And I understand that, but I think like when the Lakers was bad, they was bad. It is nothing you can do when you're a fan of the bad team except
Yeah,
let everybody talk they trash. But the thing about it is when the bad team gets good, what are you talking about? What can you
exactly.
do? Nothing. Because in the words of Kenny the Jet Smith, your team's gone fishing.
Mm-hmm.
They're on vacation. My team's still at work. So you know what I mean? So it's funny because Lakers won game 1. So I'm online popping my shit just for us to get dog walked last night. I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
that was ugly. I was like, oh, sheesh.
bro, they beat our ass last night. Like
I'm like, God damn. I guess that's what happens when everybody start making shots.
yeah,
So
man. I cut the game off and started watching Girlfriends reruns. It was
damn, it was that bad.
it was bad. it was it was bad. I'm not watching this. Like I'm not doing this to myself. I'm not. But yeah, I'm a huge Laker fan. I've been a Laker fan since 1996. Like it's when I went to my first Laker game. I've been a fan for my whole life pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you there. I definitely feel you there. I'm pretty sure you be at all the games whenever they come to Orlando.
I try to be. I definitely try to be. That's one thing I'm glad like I'm into basketball. I'm a real basketball fan. Like stats. I'm not just the Lakers. Like so, and that's one thing that my husband and I share. We love basketball. Like so we'll talk about it off season, blah blah blah, top five, all of that. So we go to games and it's fun. It's a good time. It's expensive. I like being in a city where the team is not good though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
do like that because the tickets are not, you know what I'm saying? They're not crazy. You can get pretty close to the court for, you know what I'm saying? And you're not spending an arm and a leg.
yeah.
But the only bad part is during the regular season, low management.
Yeah,
Like, so
yeah,
it's
that
like the
low
whole
management
team
shit.
won't
You know
play.
what I'm saying? This is not the NBA I grew up watching because
Period.
back in the '90s and stuff, the early 2000s, all them players they ain't give a damn. They were out there playing. They played 82 games. They ain't do this
Mhm.
low management shit. And I know the last time I went to a Heat game, that shit was kind of pricey, even though they were playing the Brooklyn Nets. And I think
Right.
I'm mad that I caught them on the night of that damn low management. I'm like, me and my partner in town. It was Ann. Me and Ann are in town for spring break, and you motherfuckers would be on load management. Ain't that something?
Yeah, it sucks because we went to when we lived in Texas, we went to a Dallas. It was the Mavericks game. No, it was the Spurs game. It was Spurs versus Warriors. We used to go see Spurs Warriors a lot when they played
Mhm.
because we didn't live anywhere far from. We lived like 2 hours away from San Antonio, and they was managing everybody. Kawhi was hurt. Steph wasn't playing. Clay wasn't playing. It was like, why did we even pay money? Like I paid this
Mhm.
money to see Greg Popovich, pretty much. Like everybody was hurt, but there are times where there was one game it was Spurs Lakers, and everybody played. That's when the Lakers had JaVale McGee, Lance Stevenson, LeBron,
Mhm.
Dwight, and all of those guys. I don't
Mhm.
remember who else was on the team. They're not there anymore, but yeah.
Yeah, I think they got real a lot of those guys to get AD. And I hate a lot. And it's like I love AD's a beast on the court, but these analysts they be going in on him when he get hurt. I'm like,
Hate
damn.
AD. I hate AD. I think he might have been one of the one of the worst acquisitions that the Lakers could have made. His inconsistency is it's deplorable. It's disgusting. I don't see how you are. I think on Tuesday's game, AD was, oh my God, was he 31, 23, and 5?
I think he was something like that.
Something like that, to turn around yesterday and be like 6, 12, and
Yeah.
freaking 2 blocks or some shit like that. So like
The consistency.
it blows my mind. I can't stand. And AD, since he's been in the league, here's a fun fact. Since AD has been in the league, he has not completed a full season of basketball. He has not played 82 games in a season of basketball since he's been in the league. Since
Damn.
his rookie year, he has not played a full season of basketball.
Wow.
But everyone reveres him as this great ass, bomb ass player. But like, you're not consistent. Like, we could have kept Dwight Howard, my
Mm.
opinion. Dwight Howard is a better big to me than than AD.
Yeah.
As far
Yeah.
as
Dwight Howard over in what? He over in Taiwan balling.
yeah, he's in China right now. And the fact that Dwight Howard's not in the NBA is the fact that Dwight Howard, not only did they disrespect him and not put him in the top 75 players
Yeah,
of
that
all
was kind
time,
of disrespectful.
and the fact that he does not have a job in the NBA is ridiculous. And you have people, um, I ain't gonna call no play. They're worse players in the NBA than Dwight Howard. I will say that are still in the league, and yeah, he's not number 76 on anybody's list. Like if I had my choice of big men, I'm Dwight Howard's in my top 10. So you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's like people forget about how dominant he was in Orlando because of what happened after Orlando. Because I think what
Don't
happened
blame that
was,
on us. Don't we happened after Orlando. Don't blame that on us.
I didn't say y'all. I
Don't
was thinking about Houston, Atlanta, and Charlotte. I
you
didn't say
just
the
like
Lakers.
he came over there to us first and then went to all the other places. Don't blame that on us. Nah,
I mean, he should have known. But I think that's on him though. He should have known that Kobe was a beast at the time, and
yeah.
he know Kobe. He was so bad it forced Kobe to apologize to Shaq. I'm like, damn. And I heard that story. They said Kobe got in touch with Shaq and made amends because of Dwight Howard. I'm
That's
like, damn.
That's like R.I.P. to the real goat. R.I.P.
Yes,
to the real
R.I.P.
goat,
to
definitely.
R.I.P. to the Black Mamba.
Yeah,
It's like,
100%. Yeah.
wow. I'm like, you can't be that bad, but
But he can. And he can. But there's not 75 players in historically in the NBA that are better than Dwight Howard. I feel like he could have been, you know what I'm saying? He could have been on that list. It's just, but everything is opinion based. So,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, everything's definitely opinion based, and it's like now I'm seeing some dudes. I'm like, y'all have him on there. I'm like, okay, but
Mhm.
so I don't know who makes these lists or whatnot, but they're definitely very opinion based.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think maybe it might be some writers who probably never picked up a basketball a day in their damn life.
Yeah. Always. It's always those, what does it say? Those who can do and those who can't talk shit
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, however the saying goes.
Yep, that's how it always is. I
Yeah.
mean, we need to get to where the players are voting on this. The players and the coaches only, That's how it should be.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. But then then you have players who haven't been in the league long enough to know nothing. They 18, 19, 20 years old. Like you don't know shit about basketball. You just, you know what I'm saying? You're a baby still. So I
Yeah.
guess it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's the double-edged sword we just gotta live with. Ladies and gentlemen, remember this is Liquor Talk. The more you drink, the better we sound. Pour up that liquor and hit subscribe. Now, going on the career path. Now, I know you saw the video of Ebony Williams, how she was on with Ayala, Dr. Ayala, right? And she basically had that stale face as if she would never date a bus driver. And I'm looking at her like, you know what? This is what I don't respect about some people. They get to the money, they get to their bag, and they get to a level that they just get stuck upish. They forget that they were once at that point. It's like to say you want to date somebody because of their career. That's a joke to me because I feel like the person below they might value, they might do the things, they might go above and beyond for you compared to the person that is getting to the money. I mean, what'd you think of that whole ordeal and stuff?
Okay, so I didn't watch her whole interview with Dr. Iyanla. I didn't watch that. I did watch her statement where she doubled down and talked about white supremacy and talked about mediocre, average, all of those things, getting C's and D's and being coddled. I watched that. And then she went on the Breakfast Club, and that was a 40-minute interview that I watched. And I I agree with the sentiment of what she was saying on the Breakfast Club. So her points changed from what she was saying on the Breakfast Club, the clip that went out from that interview with Dr. Van Zandt was a 90-second clip from a 23-minute conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So to get the whole context, you know what I mean? Like obviously it was clickbaity, it was, whatever. So she said would you date a bus driver? Ebony K. Williams said if he owned the bus. By the time she made it to the Breakfast Club, she was saying that she just wants Black people to want better for themselves. Not saying that there's nothing wrong with being a bus driver, because there's nothing wrong with being a bus driver. Like, niggas ride the bus, somebody has to drive it. But like, just know that ownership is an option. Just know that, like, that's why she said, like, a lot of, on her Breakfast Club interview, a lot of Black people think that the middle is the top. And it's not. Caveat, there's nothing wrong with being in the middle. Like,
right.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being an average, everyday person. Everybody don't need an LLC. Everybody don't want to take their tax dollars and go trade it in the foreign exchange market. Everybody don't need to be out here flipping houses. Like, niggas just want to live. Like, can I go buy some crab legs and some shoes?
Yes.
Money? Can I get a Telfar bag with my tax money? Like, why I gotta go and get a trademark? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
I just want to exist. You know what I mean? I don't want to own. I don't want to be a boss. I want to be the employee. Because all the responsibility falls on the boss. Some people don't want that. Some people don't have the capacity to do that. And what I feel like Ebony, so what she said and what people heard are not the same thing. People took what she said, internalized it, and flipped it and projected what they God bless you, and projected their insecurities onto and pinned that onto what she was saying, because people have weaponized words like average, mediocre, regular, status quo. There's nothing wrong with the status quo, because at the end of the day, a lot of people in America are average. And if you're not going above the standard, then you're average, and that's fine. But what she said, she didn't say anything about finances. But I see that on some people, when some people were talking about it on their podcast and whatnot, they were talking about, well, they make this amount of money and a CDL driver make this. She didn't say anything about money. She didn't say, you know what I'm saying? She didn't say anything about income. She didn't say anything about salary. She said if he owned the bus, that means that the standard, you know what I'm saying? This, he goes above and beyond the standard. And I think people were moving the goalposts so much that we don't even know what the conversation was anymore. You know what I mean?
Right. We don't.
Because what happens a lot on social media is when these clips come out, that's why I am so prone and just so I can't give an opinion on something I did if I didn't watch the whole interview. If I didn't watch the whole interview, I'm not going to give an opinion on it. Now, thankfully for Ebony K. Williams, she went and did that Breakfast Club interview, which summed up everything in one interview. So I didn't have to go and watch both of them. I got 2 kids. I can't be watching all of that. But she ended up, like, I don't disagree with what she said. I just feel like people took what she said and internalized it and felt attacked. And I don't think what she said was an attack, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Not saying when you go back and you look at the whole interview, okay, maybe she wasn't trying to attack nobody. And also, if you taking offense to that, then maybe you need to just shut the fuck up and worry about yourself, and you need to get better for yourself, instead of settling for that mediocrity. It's like, yeah, I was like, I don't care if you work at McDonald's or work at wherever you're trying to go, as long as you got that ambition to know that, hey, this is not going to be forever, then we in the ballpark. But if you just okay with just being mediocre and that level of below middle class mediocre, then the problem will gonna come in.
Right. But if they're okay with being mediocre and their life is fine, they the manager down to the McDonald's, and their bills are paid, and they're taking care of what they need to take care of, and they're happy.
Yeah, you can't argue with that. Now that you think about it.
That's okay. Because guess what? Niggas is eating McDonald's. So McDonald's needs a manager.
Yes. Yeah.
Niggas is riding the bus. So the bus needs a driver. Niggas'
Hmm.
toilets is breaking down. So you need plumbers. Niggas is buying houses. So you need carpenters. Come
Yeah.
like
Yeah, let's stop all because let social media tell it that will degrade every career there is, you know.
bruh, niggas can't work a regular job for nothing. Like you need teachers, nurses, engineers, fucking crossing guards. Orlando hiring right now, big ass billboards because they ain't got no fucking
Yep.
crossing
I
guards.
saw that too. I saw plenty of them as I was driving through the city.
Everybody want to be a goddamn social media influencer. Don't nobody want to go get a real fucking 9 to 5. I work a 9 to 5. I work a
Hmm.
I work a 9:30 to 4.
That counts.
Yeah. I work a 9:30 to 4.
Yeah.
But like I also but I speak from a place of privilege. So I don't have to work. I work because I want to. I work because you know what I mean. I ain't got shit else to do. And I also work because daycare is fucking expensive. But I thankfully have my VA compensation. So I don't, if I didn't want to work another day in my life, I wouldn't have to. But like Auntie likes nice things. So
Yeah, I feel you. Like I said, I got two jobs. I got two work for two security companies. It's like, yeah, we got to fund this podcast. You know what I'm saying? We got to fund the podcast. Got to fund the dream. You know what I'm saying? Because we looking to get to that point where we're living off just sponsorships and stuff. Where all we gotta do is just wake up, record, and we still making money to sleep and getting paid. You know what I'm saying? We got that ambition. You know, we
right.
get there. It's like also support someone's ambition because they they ain't trying to do this 9 to 5 forever for the rest of their lives, especially if they got boutique and stuff. Because I know plenty of people with boutiques. You know, you gotta support their vision. You know.
Right, 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 right. I hate to do this to you, and I know we're live, but I don't hear the kids anymore. So I feel like they're doing something that they don't got no business. Can we take like a 2-second break so I can go check on them?
All right, you can take 2 seconds. I'll check on them.
Okay, give me.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. My guests will be right back. But coming up, y'all, we got a lot of guest episodes. We are in the fourth quarter of the Liquor Talk. We are in the fourth quarter, ladies and gentlemen. Basically, we're in the fourth quarter of the Liquor Talk season. Season 5 is coming to an abrupt end. So we got a lot of episodes coming out. We got episodes coming every Wednesday from here until June. Also, in June, we're gonna be dropping 2 episodes a week during June as well, ladies and gentlemen. So we got a lot jam packed for this liquor talk. Shout out to all the guests and shout out to Glow from not that from Conversations with Glow for the previous episode. If you heard that, that was a great conversation. Shout out to the fellas who kicked off this month. We got a lot of great episodes coming, and also be on the lookout. We got different podcasters from all across the country. We even got some comebacks, you know, and just wait for that season finale, ladies and gentlemen, because that season finale is coming and it's coming hard. It's gonna be amazing, you know. So be on the lookout for that season finale. And also, if you need somebody to hop on your podcast, come talk to you, man. And also be sure to come to the Studio Max in Orlando. We do a lot of great recording around here, you know. Also, we got events coming on. We got a lot of things going on. So stay tuned, y'all. Oh, hold on, hold on. She's back, y'all. She's back. All right, all right.
So sorry.
It's okay.
Yes, they are downstairs now, so they're good.
Okay, all right. Let's get back into it. All right. So I know I sent you another video of a woman that was she had a man that was doing everything for her, but she felt like there was something missing. And she really wouldn't say what it was. So, what do you think about people that could find everything in a partner? Because I know you're married, but everybody for the rest of us, it's tough out here because it's just you got a lot of grimy people out here. But why is it that you feel like you found a person that has everything, but yet you're still not satisfied? Why does that occur?
Um, First of all, the video, right?
Hmm.
I couldn't get back past her bangs. Like, I'm not like hair shaming or whatever, but like she probably couldn't see what was missing because the bangs was just like over her eyes. Secondly, I think that social media, sorry, I attack social media and praise social media at the same time. So just a little bit of back story. My husband and I met in the army, and we met in 2013. So social media was, a thing, but it wasn't today. What, you know what I'm saying? What social media is today. And I think social media has presented a falsehood of what a relationship actually is.
Mm-hmm.
A success, I don't want to say successful, but because success is relative, and what works for you is what works for me and my husband may not work for somebody else and their husband, and then somebody else and their husband. But I think from watching that video, I will say I'm glad that she did get out of that relationship, but I'm glad for the man
Mm.
because, and I know I sound like a pick me right now, but like, if y'all would have watched that video, it's like she knew from watching that video, to me, she knew she didn't want that man from the beginning. So she should have never said yes to the engagement and then broken that off. You know what I mean? And I
Mm-hmm.
understand, but she couldn't even pinpoint what was missing. So that means, to me, she needs a little bit of therapy, just because if you can't pinpoint why you don't want to be with someone, that's something that you should explore. Because maybe that's something in her that's wrong. Maybe it's something to do. I don't know this nigga. He could be like, you know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
worst thing on the planet. So I'm not like caping for him or anything, but maybe that's something internal in her, and just like, you're not gonna find happiness in somebody else. To be in a partnership, marriage, committed monogamous relationship, polyamorous relationship, whatever the fuck everybody is into in 2023. Um, you have to be happy with yourself, content with yourself, and then you take your happiness that you have,
Mm-hmm.
and your partner or partners take his or her or their happiness with themselves, bring it all together. You make one big part of happy. I can't look for one thing that Will Smith said about him and Jada, and y'all feel how y'all want about Will and Jada, but he said that, or she said it. She said, "I don't look for him to make me happy.
Right.
I don't,
I do remember saying that.
I don't look for him to make me happy. He don't look for me to make him happy. If I'm going, like, you just have to build together, and just know that people change as well. Fortunately for my husband and I, and that's the only people I can speak for, we're not the when we met in 2000, we started dating in December 2013. So we're coming up on 10 years. And we got married in 2016. Who we were in 2013, started dating, is not who we were when we got married in 2016. It's not who we were when we had our first child in 2019. Not who we were when we had our second child in 2022. We're
Mm-hmm.
totally different people. And the thing is, we're growing together rather than growing apart. And a lot of times people grow apart because you have your ambitions and things that you want to do. This person has their ambitions and things that they want to do. And a lot of times people feel like relationships are a competition, or I'm supposed to be doing this because this is how I've seen it done, or you're supposed to be doing this because this is how it's always been done,
Mm-hmm.
rather than what do we need to do in order to make this work.
Mm-hmm. That's real. That is real. Well said. Well put. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
definitely agree with you from watching that video. It's bottom line. Shawty did not like the man. It's like
She didn't want to
nowadays
do it.
you just have to. If you don't like somebody, you just got to cut it off before it even begins. And
Yeah,
I totally agree with that because if you don't allow a person room to grow and a room to evolve, then you really don't like that person. You know what I'm saying? Because I've talked to plenty of married couples. They always say they have their moments, but they say they love the person enough to keep going, you know what I'm saying? Because and also another thing, I agree with you on beating up social media because I think we have this love-hate relationship with social media because we need to promote, but we don't need it to live by, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody comment on stuff that they don't know of, you
that's
know.
not your business.
They're always praising celebrities' relationships and stuff, but your homegirl, homeboy doing wrong, but you ain't holding them accountable, you know. So
Yeah, and it's like,
you can't do that.
yeah, and to me, it's like everybody sees something that they want, and that's why a lot of times it's funny to me when people comment on people's marriages and relationships and different things like that because it's all about projection. See, this is why, and both my husband and myself have been to therapy separately,
Hmm.
so we have those type of tools, you know what I mean, those type of coping mechanisms to, if there's something that we disagree with, if there's something that, you know what I mean, if there's something that, whatever, we have the tools in order to talk about it without it being an argument. And it's like a lot of things too. Just another thing, just tangent. I'm sorry.
You good.
You can't be in a relationship with anybody that you want to be with for the rest of your life if you don't trust this person.
Hello.
You have to, and the foundation of a relationship has to be trust because nothing else works without trust. I don't care if somebody told you it was communication, that starts with trust because you can't communicate with somebody if you think they're gonna lie to you. That means you don't fucking trust them. It's not financial because if they're not sharing everything with you, as far as like, not, and I don't mean sharing like giving you money and different things like that, but I mean sharing as disclosure. What does your bank account and finances look like? What does my bank account and finances look like? Because when you're married, that shit becomes one. I don't care if you have separate bank accounts. Anytime you try to open up a credit card, buy a car, buy a house, anything, you being married they take your spouse's financial history and everything into consideration. So you have to trust that that person is being honest with you about that. And don't get me started on the cheating and the whatever, because if you don't trust somebody to be a parent, to love you, to treat you how you want to be treated, trust, and you got to trust somebody in order to be honest with them. So it's like, if you
Hmm.
don't trust your partner, if you're in a relationship right now and you don't trust that person, really reflect on it. If you don't trust that nigga, fucking leave. If you
Please.
don't, leave. And back to the woman, I feel like she got with old boy and was like, I don't really like him like that. This is what she told her homegirls. I don't really like him like that, but like he cool, you know what I'm saying? He's a good dude. And her homegirls was like, girl, you better stay with him because he's doing XYZ, XYZ. That's a good man, girl. That's a good man. And she thought she could maybe mold him into what she wanted him to be. And
Hmm.
after the time had passed and the molding wasn't molding, it wasn't giving what it was supposed to give, she, thank God, realized before she contractually put herself with that man for the rest of her life, um, and broke off the engagement. And yeah, man, like if you don't have trust in your relationship, I'm talking about unwavering, blind trust in your relationship, that shit will crumble at one point.
Yes, it will. It definitely will. And also, sometimes you gotta say fuck other people's opinions. This is something I learned at FAMU. It's like
Tangent.
you gotta say fuck other people's opinions, and you know that you're the captain of your fate and the captain of your life. You gotta say that because other people will tell you, no, stay with them, just stay with them to see what you can get out of them. I'm like, no, fuck that. I will just take my L right now because I'm sick of this shit, you know. So you got to just move the fuck on and not hold on because you'll miss out on somebody that was probably for you, you know?
Ebobo, you are preaching, okay? You
Hmm.
are preaching because Nobody else has to be in your relationship except you and your partner or partners.
Yes.
Them the only people with opinion. The only opinion that matters about my marriage is mine and my husband's. At
That's
the end of
real.
the day, the only opinion that that matters about raising my kids, mine and my husband's. At
You
the end
said
of
it.
the day, everything else is noise. People give good advice. You chew the meat, you spit the bones, you do what you need to do. But at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
you got to live for you. And
Yes.
the only opinion that matters about your life is you. You can't
Mm-hmm.
be living. The thing about it is, people be living for other people. They be living for social media. What is this person going to think? What is this person going to think? What is it? Fuck all that. Like you just said, you got to say fuck all that and just live your life. Like literally, that has been, I would say, since the pandemic, that has been what I have been like growing towards. I'm almost at peak. Fuck what these bitches got to say. I'm like, if this is the peak, I'm like here. So I still got a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I still got a little bit to go, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely climbing the ladder of I don't give a fuck what you hoes think, like
Yeah,
or
exactly.
at
I
all.
definitely agree with that. It's like only time I care about your opinion is if you're actually helping me. If you're not really helping me, then you could just go on somewhere with your opinion because a lot of y'all give opinions but don't want to deal with your own shit.
I only
That
care about the opinions that I ask for.
mm-hmm. That's all that matters is the opinions that you
that's
ask for.
literally it. Like other than that, I don't know if you could do that on YouTube. I'm sorry.
You good. YouTube don't care. You know what I'm saying? They'll live.
I ain't trying to get you demonetized now. Whew.
Nah, we trying to get monetized over here. We good though. We good. Now with this being Mother's Day, what's something you like to tell your mom?
Something I would like to tell my mom. Oh my god, I would like to say, "Hey Mia, girl." That I love her. I would like to tell my mom that I love her and that I understand now that she everything that she has like decided to do with her life. I get it as an adult and as a mom. Cuz my parents are divorced.
Mhm.
So and my mom is the one, she ain't gonna listen to this. My mom is the one that filed for divorce. So when I was just like, leave that nigga,
Mm.
that's what Mia did. So that's what Mia did. So yeah, I would just say I understand and that I love my mom. And it's funny how everybody always says the older you get, the closer you get to,
That is true.
that's the closer
That
you get
is
to your mom. So
true.
my mom is hilarious. I literally talk to my mother every day, multiple times a day.
Wow.
Like if I don't talk to my mom at least like twice a day, I'd be like, girl, what are you doing? She, even if I'm like, and this might be like not okay, because when you try to like practice boundaries or whatever, when I'm like, I don't feel like talking to nobody on the phone. If my mama call me, like I'm gonna answer the phone. Like I'm not gonna not, you know what I'm saying? Like talk to my mama. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I
I
would
feel you.
say.
First off to my mother, Katrina, I know she's in Texas right now. Actually, she came this weekend. It was nice to see her, It's like I definitely agree with you. You will get close to your parents because I remember FAMU me, I really didn't want to deal with my mom, but then over the time we healed some things, you know what I'm saying? She owned up to some areas where she fucked up at. It's like if a parent tells you they're sorry and they fucked up, you gotta respect
Hundred
that because
percent,
they're
a
taking
hundred percent.
accountability, you know what I'm saying? And once she started taking accountability for things, things started happening, so we started getting closer. Remember, she lived in Jacksonville. I was living with her for briefly. So I'm definitely appreciative of my mother, you know what I'm saying? She always came through at the toughest times, you know what I'm saying? Also, to all the single moms my age, you know what I'm saying? Keep doing your thing, keep doing your thing. And also, be very selective of who you bring your kids around, because not every man needs to be involved with your kid. You know what I'm saying? You definitely got to be very selective of what man can bring around, because you bring around the wrong man and your child is going to make you pay for it as an adult. So, and not everybody needs to know what's going on with your children and stuff. So be very selective, but also date for you. You know what I'm saying? That's the big thing I tell single moms. Date for you. Don't be out here looking for stepdad of the year for your kids. To all my married people with kids, you know what I'm saying? Happy Mother's Day. Y'all doing your thing. Shout out to all the moms I've had on Liquor Talk. I definitely appreciate y'all. I definitely learned something from y'all. Anytime I have a mom on, I learn a lot of different things.
But
Just
you
to
can't do
prepare
nothing.
me,
You can't get nothing done. That's what you learn. You can't get nothing done because these kids is bad as hell. But just to piggyback one last thing, girlfriend to the single moms, to the single bobs. Sorry, tangent. Last thing, I promise. Let that man see them kids. If he want to see them kids, and he's trying to see them kids, let that man see them kids, girl. Because if you let him see them kids, you can go get your nails done. You can go get your lashes done. You can go
have brunch.
You can go to brunch, girl. Let that man see them kids. All he gonna do is take them kids, take some pictures for Instagram, go drop them off at his mama house, and you know they're gonna be there good. Let that man see them kids. And I say that because I say it jokingly, but I don't know a lot of single mothers, but I do know a lot of fathers who want to see their kids, who are great fathers, who pay their child support and still get the runaround when it comes to seeing their kids. And it really hurts. It really hurts to see when you see a man trying to be a good father, especially ones who didn't come from having a good father. So Savannah, let that man see them kids. Like, let them, and yeah, that's all. I think that was it.
Please let them see the kids. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and also in talking about people without kids, and enjoy that shit.
Don't have kids if you don't have them.
You heard it from Brystal, y'all. I couldn't have said it better myself. All right, Brystal. Lastly, why do the people need to tap in and subscribe to the Not That Problematic podcast?
You should tap in and subscribe to Not That Problematic, the podcast, because it's lit over here. It's a safe space. You can say what you want within the ramifications. Okay, we don't get crazy, you know what I mean? But it's a learning experience. And I always believe in putting the medicine in the candy. It's always a broader conversation. I always have some fly ass guests. I can't wait to have you on my podcast. I'm excited.
Yes, so, I'm excited for that too.
I always have some bomb ass guests on my podcast. It's a learning experience. And we're lit over here at Not That Problematic, the podcast. We talk about any and everything. Parenting, you always, 9 times out of 10, gonna hear my son busting in the room while I'm recording, trying to, you know what I'm saying, trying to have my mom time. And it's a good time. It's an escape. And that's what podcasts do. And I'm funny.
Yes, you are. You are hella funny. You're hella lit. Ain't nothing changed. Only thing about you changed, you got kids and you're married now. I mean, I remember.
And I went to therapy. I've been to therapy. I've been in therapy since 2016. So
yes,
go to therapy, guys. Like, go to therapy. It's worth it.
Definitely worth it. Well, Brystal, I want to thank you for making your first ever guest appearance on Liquor Talk. I'm honored to you're breaking out of your shell, you came on, you did your thing, you know what I'm saying? You were a great guest. I definitely appreciate you. I'm definitely looking forward to returning the favor for you, you know what I'm saying? I'm up the street, so whenever you want to, you just let me know. So
period, definitely. It was a great time. I truly appreciate you having me. Now I'm about to go, like, you want me to be a guest on your podcast? I'm about to tell everybody because it was a great time. I truly enjoyed myself.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me. And I appreciate you. Thanks.
Yes, I appreciate you too. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm ready to come on whenever you need me to. And I appreciate you, the listeners, for listening to the edition of Liquor Talk. Whether you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts at. Until the next episode, ladies and gentlemen, remember, Liquor Talk is that podcast taking over for the 23 and the 24. We out this thing, y'all. Good night.